Hi, welcome in joining me back to my 7th session of Nethalas into the Midnight Throne. So before I start the game, in this session I have included some enhancements for my game to actually speed things up a little bit, to make things easier and the game flow more smoothly. So one of it would be actually to indicate a tension die and a layer die space on my table. So I will put the respective die onto the space as designated over here, either tension or layer. I will put it here, and this should be able to help me to smoothen out the gameplay later on. So there's no need to refer back to my character sheet. In this case, I'm using a PDF, so it's not as easy as having a hard copy. So many times I come back here, I will click and I'll come back here to refer, which makes the game not so smooth. So what I will do is I will actually place a die based on a different color. So for tension, I'm using a red colored die. I'm at D8, so I'm just gonna put it here. And for my layer die, I'm at D10, so I'm gonna put it here at D10 in blue. All right, so that settles that. And where we left off in the last round was Athena fighting the pyre bond with her two skeletons. So one of her skeletons is almost dead. It had his sword broken into two, which I don't know what to do about it. And it has about 3 life left. So Athena decided that she would raise another skeleton out of the pyre bond. In this case, it qualifies to raise a skeleton because it's a humanoid. So she's back at 2 skeletons, one at 10 life, the other one at 6 life. And what happens to the last skeleton? Well, I don't know. Maybe she's gonna abandon it in this octagon here. I don't want to have 3 skeletons. I think 2 is quite okay, quite enough. Anyway, the last skeleton doesn't have a sword, so it's pretty much useless to me. Where we left off, from where Athena is, she had managed to grab a belt lamp from the pyre bond as one of the spoils, and she had gotten 2 crafting supplies scavenging. So what's remaining for us to do would be to decide where she wants to move or where she wants to explore. Right, so she's actually right, we are actually right here, and there's octagon here. So she has came through, and now she has to decide which door to go for. So before I go on, there's another interesting thing that I read, a homebrew rule on Discord on the Nethalas channel. So it says that if you do not want to keep rolling the die to no end, so in this case I can keep rolling the layer die and it just doesn't give me a 1 or 2 and I end up having a mega dungeon. If I want to prevent myself from having a mega dungeon, then perhaps I will decide that I will roll for 10 times. If it doesn't hit a 1 or 2, I will automatically downgrade the die from one size to the next. So I am gonna try that because I'm getting a little tired exploring so many dungeons. I think I am kind of ready for the Overseer. Maybe not, but I think the excitement that you know that you're getting nearer and nearer to meeting the Overseer would be so exciting. So I'm gonna add that into my rule. I'm gonna decide that if I roll the next layer check, that will count as 1 roll. If after 10 rolls I still don't get a downgrade from my D10 to a D8, then I will automatically downgrade the die. Okay, so let's go back here where she is, and perhaps now let's decide on which door should we go. Perhaps I would want to try going up north. Well, basically the reason is that I have more space on the upwards. I have been wanting to go up north, so I will try to open up that door. So first of all would be, of course, to check if the door is locked or not. So going back to the rules, it's over here, page 104. So first of all, determine the door is locked by rolling a d20. So if I get a plus 12, it means the door is locked. Okay, so my d20 is over here. Okay, I got a 1, so it means it's not locked. Fantastic. So I don't need to determine the lock's difficulty, and I decide to open it. So I have to roll to see if it's trapped or not. Okay, so I'll roll a d10. Just over here. Okay, it's a 9. It means that it's trapped. So I will perform next a perception check to see if I can detect the trap in time. So for perception checks, I will have to perform a check to see how well the trap is being hidden. So I will roll on the random difficulty table, which is over here for easy reference. Alright, so I will roll on a d8 to see if it's easy or hard. I roll a 2, which is effortless. That's a plus 20 to my perception check. So I roll a 2, which is great. So I pass my perception check. Athena detects the trap. So if I want to avoid the trap, I can perform the skill check associated with the trap in question. So I have a chance to roll based on dodge or acrobatics. In this case, I think mostly it's all acrobatics or dodge checks. So I'm gonna roll and see what trap it is to find out. I roll a 2. So it says the character steps on a hidden bear trap. They suffer 3d6 piercing damage. Okay, and the skill check to avoid would be a dodge. So let me see if I can dodge this trap. So going back to my character sheet. Okay, my dodge is at 25, so I have to roll a 24 or below. I roll 46, so I failed dodge. So in this case, I will roll 3d6. Oh god, that is bad. A 2 plus a 1, that's a 3, and the third roll will be a 3. So 3 plus 3, it's 6. So I roll a 6 for piercing damage, and I'm going to convert that score. So I suffer a 2 damage. Athena suffers a 2 damage, including a 2 skeleton. So I'm going to mark that down. Okay, so Athena now is at, let me write it over here. Athena would be at, how many toughness is she at? So she's at 17 right now, so that drops down to 15. One skeleton 1 would be 10 health, so right now it has 8. 8 out of 10. And the other skeleton 2 has 6 life, as we can see here. So 6 life minus a 2, that would be a 4 out of 10. So not looking good, but that's fine. So we have passed through this door. Just gotta put it here to say that I have passed through this door. Let's see what's next. We will go on to a brand new page and we'll roll for a room or corridor. Alright, so we come back here and we'll roll D100. I roll a 59, so let's see where's 59. I believe that's a room. Okay, so this is the room that I'm going in. This one. Okay, so I'm going to proceed to draw this. Okay, so now I have my new room. Next, I'm gonna roll to see if there's a downgrade to my layer die. So let's roll on my D10 to 3. No luck. So layer check. It's no. It's not. We are not gonna downgrade the die. Tension check. I'm gonna roll on my D8. There's a 2. Great. And that triggers something else. Okay, so I'm gonna downgrade this to 6 first. And so failed. Let's see what happens from there. I have triggered something and I will roll on the D100. It says roll on the D100 to see what happens if there's a growing darkness event. Yes, I missed this As much as it's terrifying, I think that's exciting. So I'm going to roll my D100 to see what happens. So I roll a 90. I roll a 90. So 90 means, let's see. Ooh. An inhuman voice screams, whispers, and yells. Somehow you know that's an overseer. Roll on the overseer influence table. All opponents from this domain benefit from the result, but they also grant plus 10 XP. I will have to roll for another overseer influence, which is not great, but that gives me another plus 10 in terms of experience. So we roll a d10 to see which overseer influence that gives me. I roll an 8, that is unstable. Deals d8 arcane damage when killed. Holy, this is really bad. Okay, let me put that down. I think I have run the game wrongly. When I am supposed to roll for Growing Darkness event if I reach a d4. And I roll a 1 or 2, and then that triggers a Growing Darkness event. But in this case, let's roll with it. I think let's make the game a little tougher. Athena seems to be getting it off easy so far, so that's fine. Let's go with it. So an encounter would mean I will roll a d20. So if it's a plus 10, it means there's an encounter. Okay, I am really fortunate. This is a 6, so there's no encounter. So in this case, I will roll on the events table to see what event happens since there's no encounter. Before that, let's have a look at the room and see how it actually feels and looks. So I roll a 4. The stone altar in the center of the room is covered in dried blood, a chilling testament to the dark rituals that once took place here. Ooh. That's kind of spine-chilling, huh? Some rituals happening in this room, sacrifices, monsters, I think humans, whatnot. Okay, so now let's look at the events table. I'm gonna roll on a D100. I roll a 61. Let's see what 61 says. The room is covered in mosaics depicting fencing stances and techniques. Maybe there's something to learn here. Make a reason check. If you pass it, increase your bladed weapon skill by 1. Am I using a bladed weapon? Yes, it's considered a bladed weapon. I'm using a sheath in this case. So I will have to make a reason check. Where's that? Reason check. Let's refer to the character sheet for more hints what I can do. So my reason is 10. Okay, that's pretty low. So I need to make a reason check. Of course, I roll a 68. The odds are so high to roll higher than 10. So in this case, I don't have an increase to my bladed weapon skill. Alright, so that's all. Okay. I have finished rolling the events. And what's next would be perhaps I can scavenge the room to see what's around. Okay, so I'll roll a d20. So 4. You'll find d4 crafting supplies. Okay, I seem to be hitting this very often. I'm gonna roll a d4 to see how many crafting supplies I've got. That's a 2. I have been missing out this. Very important. So it says here, each time you enter a room, you can make a scavenge check. If you pass, you can roll on the scavenging table. In this case, I've been skipping the scavenging check. Oh god. But that's okay. Only a single scavenge check is allowed per room. That's fine. If I roll a fumble, I've made noise, and then I roll on a combat encounters table. Alright, so I think I'll speed things up a little bit by skipping the scavenge to gain items and all. So I think I'm gonna just stick to that first. I think lack of that will just be making the game a little harder for me, and perhaps I will have to go through more corridors and more rooms before finding something useful and so on. So I think that's okay. Let's roll with that. Okay, I have realized a very fundamental rule, but that's okay. Alright, so I am ready to move on up north. So let me update my map a little bit. So back to the doors check. I will roll to see if it's locked or not. Okay, here we go, my D20. That's an 11. It means it's not locked. Okay, it's not locked. And I will roll to see if it's trapped or not by rolling on my D10. It's an 8, it means it's trapped, so it's unlocked and it's trapped. So next I will roll on the difficulty table. So let's roll on the D8. It's a 6, so that is demanding. That's a -10. That will affect my perception check. Okay, that will give, it will be a modifier to my perception check of -10. So my perception is at 60 right now. So I have to roll a below 50 to pass this check. So I roll a 12, that's fantastic. I have passed the perception check, which means I have a chance to avoid the trap in question. So let's go on to the trap table, which is here. I'm going to roll on the D10 to see what is the trap. That's a 2. Again, the character steps on a hidden bear trap. They suffer a 3d6 piercing damage. So I have to roll my dodge. My dodge is at 25. So let's see if I can dodge it. Oh, in this case, do I have to roll for my skeletons? I think I do. I believe so. So let's roll on a dodge. Let's roll a dodge check for all my 3 characters. Okay, let's see. Athena, 78, that's a fail. So I roll for skeleton 1. Skeleton 1, I'll basically be using the endurance, which is 30. I have to roll a below 30 to pass the check. That's a 59, that's a fail. Skeleton 2, that's a 33, that's a fail too. So all my 3 characters have got into the bear trap. They suffer 3d6 damage. So Athena, they all suffer 3d6 damage. Put the characters here first. Okay, and I'm gonna roll on the damage die. It's a 3d6, I'm gonna roll this 3 times. So roll 6, God, 6, 10. That's a 15, I roll a total of 15. And I'm gonna convert this to the actual damage. 15, that will be a 4 damage dealt to each character. That's horrible. 15 minus 4 equals to 11 out of 19. It's not good. It's time to take a break soon, perhaps to make camp. And skeleton 1 would be at, let me see, 8 life and 4 life left. So the last skeleton will have died. So that said, I will be down to just 1 skeleton. It's not great. So let's see, how do I recover healing? That will be an interesting part to this session where I explore a little more on healing and so on, which I am not very familiar. Okay, I don't even have the tab on, so let's see. Let's search for it manually. Alright, healing and death, there you are. Okay, all characters recover D4 toughness immediately after a fight is over, and recover it fully after resting at camp. Out of combat, bandages can be used in combination with the medicine skill to heal D4 toughness once per room. All characters recover D4. Do my skeletons recover D4? So in this case, Athena can recover D4 toughness after a fight, but this is not a fight. She can recover it fully after resting in camp, but not for the skeletons. So the skeletons will need to have some magic potions and proper resting, taking a breather or setting camp. Okay, I don't have any healing potions. It allows me to recover D10 toughness, 1 health, and reduce my exhaustion by 2. Unfortunately, this reduces your light source by 5 and attention die by 1 stage. I think that's a fair trade. My light source reduced by 5. It's not looking good. I can take a breather, or I can set a camp. So I will need to secure the room. I will need to barricade and stuff like that. So once you've decided you're done barricading your camp and it's time to do something else, or to go to sleep, you must make a camp check. So that may trigger some monsters. Okay. Barricade. You've seen what sort of horrors in this place, so for each 1 crafting supply spent reinforcing the place, you gain 1 exhaustion, but you can add 5 to the camp check roll. So benefits of camping: regain all toughness, 1 health, sanity, and reduce exhaustion by 10. This is really good. From that, I can do quite a bit of stuff. Over here, I can cook, which reduces exhaustion. Okay, I can have rations. Do I need rations? The rations will come in place if I need... Setting camp consumes 1 ration. Not having rations reduces all benefits of camping by half. Okay, that is not great. I think I can do some camp activities. Let's try. So, to combine with medicine skill to heal D4 toughness once per room. So I will have the bandages. I think I have missed that out. So I will craft some bandages. I will craft some lamp oil, which is, I have a belt lamp, which is fantastic. So I can either craft the lamp oil, which requires 2 crafting supplies. Torches will require 1 crafting supply for 1 torch. So any amount of torch causes me to gain 1 exhaustion. So it doesn't matter how many lamps or how many torches I create, I will still get 1 exhaustion, and both will reduce the camp check roll by 2. Heal condition: spend 1 bandage. This is quite important. I think I will need the bandage. I'm gonna do it. Repair. Okay, so this refers to the armor, probably. I can repair my skeleton's broken weapon, which I left him in the room next door. That's fine, I'm gonna skip that. I can rest. Okay, resting will not I will not be able to undertake any other camp activity, but you can reduce your exhaustion by 5, heal 1 health, and increase camp check roll by 2. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna swap mastery amulets I don't have. So aside from being the only place where I can craft and cook, resting in camp is the only way to properly recover from certain things. I could regain all toughness and 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4th, reduce exhaustion by 10. So how does it reconcile if I do need to use my exhaustion? That I use them first, and then I rest, and I recover everything. Not too sure about that. I think so, which means to say it makes sense to have exhaustion credits, because that will mean how much of activities I can do during this camp. It will limit the number of activities I do. If not, then I would probably can do unlimited of these. So I guess that's where exhaustion comes in, but it allows me to reduce by 10 at the end of my camp. So let's try that. Okay, so I am at, looking at the health, so Athena is at 11 out of 19. She is 8 points down from her health. Skeleton 1 is at 4 out of 10. Skeleton 2 is dead. So, am I going to recover the skeleton, or am I going to just determine that I brought all 3 skeletons? I'm just going to cheat a little. So assuming that I brought my skeleton 3, it would have been dead too. So that's fine. I'm not going to do that. So in any case, my skeleton 3, even if it comes along, it will be dead too. And likely be dead unless it rolls a good check. So in any case, and resting can only regain 1 health for my skeleton. So that's not great. Okay, so I will do the camp check after I finish with my camping activities. So first of all, I would need to barricade the place. So 1 crafting supplies to reinforce the place, you gain 1 exhaustion, but I can add 5 to my camp check roll. The camp check requires me to roll a d20, so a 10 and above would mean that nothing has happened and everything is fine. If I roll a below 10, it means I would definitely face an encounter and it reduces all my benefits of camping by half. So the downsides are clearly very high, so I'm going to increase my chances of that by using up more crafting supplies to increase the successful chance of a camp check roll. I'm currently at 1 exhaustion, so that's fine. Hopefully I do not use up more than 10 exhaustion, because that would mean that anything more than 10, I would still accumulate exhaustion. But in this case, I think we should be safe because I'm doing just a few things. Just gonna do the bandages. Having a lamp oil means that I do not have to hold a torch. I would have 2 free hands to perhaps weld a second weapon. Perhaps let me craft the lamp oil. That may be helpful for future use if I do come across another weapon. She's a weapon master after all, so I'm gonna do 1, which is I'm gonna craft the bandages. Let's have a look at my medicine. It's only 10, it's just pathetic. If I don't get a medicine check right, I can't heal either way. So, but this is useful for in case I get into a trap. It will be very useful for that. Okay, let's craft them anyway. I will craft 5 bandages. Cost would be 1 exhaustion. And don't forget, you need to minus away your crafting supplies. So 5 crafting supplies. Maybe I'll do 3. So that will cost me minus 6 crafting supplies. And of course, 1 exhaustion. So I would do, let me see how much of light source do I have right now. I have 13, so let's do 5, which will be great. So cost would be minus 1 exhaustion and minus 5 crafting supplies. Let's see if I do need to repair the armor. So if I do repair, spend 2 crafting supplies to repair a single piece of gear, reduce your camp check roll by 2. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. I don't think I'm gonna do that. All armor has an integrity value represented by a die. After a fight, integrity die must be rolled. 1 or 2 means die go down by the dice chain by 1 stage. A result of 1 to 2 in the last stage means armor is beyond repair and must be discarded. Repairing armor increases its integrity by 1 die type in the dice chain. So let's do it. I think that's worth it. I'm gonna repair. 2 exhaustion. Reduce camp check roll by 2. So there we have it. These are my activities for camping. So I will also, in fact, I will want to increase my chances of the camp check roll through barricading. So I'm gonna use more crafting supplies. Right, so I have to take a really good check at I have to keep in mind of my exhaustion, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 exhaustion at this point, including Athena's current 1 exhaustion, so that's 6 exhaustion. So A successful rest from camp would be able to reduce my exhaustion by 10. So I have effectively another 4 exhaustion points that I can use. Barricade, I will use 2 supplies, minus 2 exhaustion. A successful camp check, right? In this case, I have 10. So regardless of how much I roll on my d20, I will still be 10 and above. Right, so that is all I'm gonna do. So let's calculate the total cost. I'm left with 5 crafting supplies in this case. Oh god, okay. Setting camp consumes 1 ration. Not having rations reduces all benefits of camping by half and rounding down. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I think I don't have a choice. I have decided that I want these benefits. Half of the toughness loss, I'll regain 0.5 health, which is 0 health. I'll regain d4 sanity divided by 2. I will have to divide all these benefits by half, which is still reasonable. Okay, so I will roll a d20. So it's a 11 plus another 10. That would be a 21, which means there's no encounter. I've rested safely. Everything's fine. Okay, so right, and it says here a failure triggers a roll and reduces all benefits of camping by half again. So if I don't have a ration, I reduce another half of all the benefits. Does it make sense? Or does it mean that I lose all my benefits from the benefits table if I don't successfully roll a camp check and I don't have a ration? That's a question I have. But in any case, I will post that question up on Discord and see if there's anyone that can answer that. And meanwhile, I'll reconcile all these things. So I have to basically everything here I got 50%. So toughness lost. So Athena is at 11. So she needs to heal another 8 toughness to be full. So that's basically she would be at, I would say, so instead of 8 points, she would heal 4 points in toughness. So that's a 15 out of a 19, which is not too bad. Skeleton 1 would heal a 3 more points, which is a 7 out of a 10. And Skeleton 4 is dead. So basically that is where I am at right now. So Athena has healed. So Athena right now is 15 out of 19 toughness. And Skeleton 1 is at 7 out of 10. Each healing 50% of what they are supposed to heal. Whoops. Regain 1 health. So I'm just gonna give my skeleton a pass this time around. Since they don't have toughness but they have health, so should I regard toughness as health for my skeletons or for my minions? I don't think so. Strictly, I don't think that's correct, but well, I think let's cut myself a little break. Let my skeleton heal. I've lost 1 skeleton and Athena is really upset with that, so well, let's give that skeleton a chance. In any case, she can always kill some monsters and raise another skeleton, but then again, that's gonna be tough. It's okay. I think let's do it this way and regain d4 sanity. So I'm gonna roll my d4, which is a 2, which I will gain a 1 sanity. I will recover 1 sanity. So I will go update my table. Okay, but it seems I really need the rations. I need the cooking ingredients. I really need them. This is so important. It avoids the situation of having all the benefits of camping, which is really bad. It's really a costly, a huge disadvantage, I would say. Not having rations reduce all benefits of camping down by half. That's so much. That's so much. And I have to go find the cooking ingredients soon, which I don't have at the moment, and I don't know where will I get them from. Okay, so we have done a successful camp. Athena has crafted. She has also gained quite a few items. Let me update. I have spent 20 crafting supplies, which I'm going to deduct from here. So now I know how important these things are. So I have spent 20, so I have 5 crafting supplies left. I have gained 5 bandages. I have gained 3 lamp oils, which will be great if I'm dual welding. If I do come across another weapon that's useful. I do have another 5 torches, which is great. That will put me back on a healthy, really healthy level of exploring more rooms without worrying not having torches. I also have a Armour Repair, her Embraces in this case, back to a D8 again, which is great. -2 for the chem check roll. I believe I rolled above, so there's no, there won't be any encounters being triggered, so that's fine. I've managed to mitigate that modifier to my chem check roll, which creates noise. I also have barricaded the place pretty safely, so in this case boosting up my chances of having a safe rest without interruption or unpleasant encounters. So in all, I have paid 7 exhaustion points and 20 crafting supplies for that, and I have recovered another 5 exhaustion after the rest, so that brings me back to 2 points for my current exhaustion level, which is not too bad. And I think we are good. So of course with that we have also healed significantly. So Athena is back at 15 points out of a 19 for toughness, and my skeleton 1 will be at 7 out of 10, and unfortunately skeleton 2, we have lost him to the bear trap. So that's all for the camp, and perhaps we will meet again next session where we explore further, checking through that door. And so I would conclude this session of my current Nethalas solo playthrough with Athena and her 1 skeleton remaining, and we will explore more in the next session.